So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? You met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Rickman, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay. Hey,
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes, but.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this.
When it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday. It is Skanksgiving. I've already said this before. I've already explained this to you guys before. But it is Skanksgiving. It's the night before Thanksgiving. Usually this is the night when everybody goes out, kicks it, gets a little drunk, gets a little skanky, you know what I mean? Skanksgiving. So that tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, you get your Thanksgiving meal, but you're hungover. So you get your little Thanksgiving meal. It's a perfect combination. It's a perfect situation. All right. So happy Skanksgiving. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. For those of y'all who are actually celebrating Thanksgiving, because I got canceled. I got canceled. I'm telling you, yesterday. I talked about it on last night's show. I myself got canceled because, of course, no, I don't have the Rona. No, I don't have any of that stuff. Solely because I got family members that, I want to take care of. And I want to make sure that they're in good, healthy standings, right? So I opted to step down from going and having Thanksgiving. So me, myself, I will probably be marching my little self. Lie, I'm 6'4". But anyway, I'll be marching my little self over to Boston Market and enjoying myself a fantastic meal over at Boston Market. So for those of y'all who are actually going to be spending time with your families, please, as I've been saying over and over and over again, please indulge in those moments that you have with your families. This is more than ever the greatest reason to celebrate what you are thankful for. Not only just having your family and your loved ones around you, but the fact that you are still above the ground and that this virus, that no sicknesses, no nothing have taken you down. So that's all I ask for every single person that comes in and is a part of this show and that goes out and enjoys turkey. Because I'm not going to have any tomorrow. Damn. Anyway. Good evening to all you over 50 and fantabulous. Jalen, Alex Jones, Wataguan, bruh. Yeah, man. What's up, fam? And all y'all, Jalen, thank you so much for tuning in. Good evening to all you guys who are tuning in. Of course, it is kind of a weird night because a lot of people are still traveling. A lot of people are getting home to get all ready. So some of y'all are probably stuck in the kitchen right now prepping for tomorrow's festivities. And I got to be honest, I hope you guys really do have a great and fantastic Thanksgiving. You guys all deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So for all y'all that are in the kitchen slaving away, I salute all y'all. You know what I mean? It's hard, not let alone cooking for yourself, but cooking for everybody else. Damn, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I just want to pat you on the back or give you a hearty high five, okay? But anyway, as you can see underneath me, we are going to be talking about something very serious here. This is something I've been holding out for because I've been waiting for a good friend of mine. He has a YouTube channel called Strategic Eyes. He is here with us tonight. Please welcome Strategic Eyes. How are you doing, my brother?
What's going on, Pascal? It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you extending this love and this opportunity to me to talk to you tonight, man.
Anytime, man. You know, it's a blessing to have somebody like yourself on the show because I and of course I know that it's okay for me to say this, you are an inactive duty police officer. And
That's correct.
And so you have quite a bit of you have a very, very specific and unique perspective when it comes to this Kyle Rittenhouse situation. So of course we got to jump into this and talk about this. Obviously, for those of y'all who don't remember this whole thing, the shooting that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where he ended up shooting and killing three members of Antifa, I guess you could call them. I don't know if they ever did like clarify if those three victims were actually part of Antifa or if they were just part of BLM or if they were just there to cause a ruckus. But, this 17-year-old kid from Antioch, Illinois, is being charged with 2 counts of homicide and 1 of attempted homicide after shooting 3 people amid a unrest in August in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And this obviously was following from the protests that were happening because of Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake was the gentleman that was shot in close range 8 times in the back when he was not complying, went to his car, and the cop followed him, shot him 8 times in the back. So just to give you a little bit of background story, because you know what, let's be real, there's been a lot of stories and a lot of names over the past 6 to 8 months that we've been talking about. So right now he has been released. He has been freed on bond on the 20th of November. And obviously people feel very much some type of way with this. He was on a $2 million bond and he was set free. He made bail and he was set free. But before we jump into that conversation about him getting bail and why Silver Spoons has anything to do with this, which is another conversation in itself as well, we got to talk about a little bit about the case, about the situation that happened. And I got Strategic Eyes here. He has his own perspective about things. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Strategic. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, Pascal, first of all, I just made a video on Kyle Rittenhouse. And the first and foremost thing that I wanted to emphasize to my viewers is that I am not a fan of Kyle Rittenhouse. All right. But being a fan of Kyle Rittenhouse, the person, and the actions that he took to lead up to that night are 2 different things with what is justifiable under the law. And my take is that as unfortunate as the circumstances that happened that night on August 25th were, under the law, he has a really good case of getting a self-defense verdict, which would mean that he will not be found guilty of anything that he's being charged, except for possibly the gun charges.
Okay, so of course, when it comes to the gun charges, absolutely, because let's break it down. All right, he was living in Antioch, Illinois. From my understanding, and of course, I don't want to say anything wrong, but from my understanding, he bought his assault rifle, the AR-15 that he used to shoot those 3 victims at the during that protest. He bought that with a stimulus check. A buddy of his drove out, bought the gun for him because obviously the kid is 17 years old, and he is not in legal right to own a gun. So a friend of his goes out, takes his money, goes out and buys that AR-15 for his ass. Then he gets the gun. His mom drives his young self out to Kenosha, Wisconsin, so that he can do, as he felt, his civic duty, right? Yep. To protect with a gun.
A few things, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I apologize.
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
There are some facts that are being misconstrued, and it's not a big deal, but it does matter.
Come on with it.
All right, so he gave, as you stated, his friend Dominique Black is the one who actually purchased the firearm for him. Now, his mother claims that she did not know that he had that firearm. Dominique Black's stepfather said that he knew that Dominique Black purchased the firearm and that he stored the gun in his home, and that he didn't know that on that night, August 25th, that those kids removed the gun from the house without his permission, without his knowledge, to then go out to the march. So basically, none of the adults knew that he was going out there. That's just a small little nuance.
And that's fair, because when we had when the story broke, we were literally watching this stuff the very next day. I mean, hours after the story broke. And we were looking at footage and all that, and we heard the story after that about the mother driving over state lines, and we were going, well, how would the mother not know that he has a gun? It's an AR-15, for crying out loud. If it's coming in a gun case, it's kind of hard to fake that. It's kind of hard to say, hey, what's in that big old duffel bag? You know what I mean? Looks like a muzzle sticking out the end. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to be able to get away with that? You know what I'm saying? So we were wondering. I was wondering. I was like, man, the mom is insane if that was the case.
Right.
But if it was already over at Dominic's home, then that makes a lot of sense.
And the weapon was actually purchased in Wisconsin.
Okay,
so I actually was wrong. Like in my video, I said that it was purchased in Illinois, and therefore it could be a possible federal interstate case. I was actually wrong. That weapon was purchased in Wisconsin by Dominique Black, stored at the stepfather's house. The stepfather said, I really don't want you to have this gun, but you already bought it, so I'm going to store it here.
Right.
Guys, don't touch it without my permission. And then the young men took the weapon without the adult's permission and then proceeded to go to the riot area.
And that's where the wrong happens.
Right. Correct.
Because obviously he shouldn't have been brandishing a gun in the first place, because he's 17 years old. Now, the fact that he did buy a gun, that his friend Dominic bought the gun for him, obviously I'm sure Dominic was like, okay, I will have it at home at my place so that I can teach you how to use the gun, or anytime we want to do target practice, you got the gun here until you are legal age. I mean, this is me assuming here. Obviously, I'm assuming. I'm just putting words in Dominic's mouth in the conversation, but I would assume he was going, okay, I'm going to teach you how to use this gun, so that when you are of legal age, you can have this gun and all that. So you can get the papers, all that stuff, and do your damn thing. But that's not the case. That's not what happened. He went, he took it, unbeknownst to Dominic, and ran out in the streets, trying to be Batman or trying to be the Punisher up in this piece. Now, okay. So here's the thing. And of course, I'm throwing this to you. I'm throwing this question to you, this strategic, because there's a lot to unravel here. Okay,
I'm here for it, Pascal. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna take this journey together.
Let's go, baby. Okay, so first off, it is a 17-year-old boy, 17-year-old kid that is illegally brandishing a gun out in public. That's problem number one. Problem number two, of course, now we obviously know everybody kind of knows a little bit of the story of what happened. I mean, there was a burning dumpster that was rolling towards him, and then there was a chase that was ensued by later on by one of the men that was shot and killed, who happened to be a sex offender, but that doesn't even matter in this particular situation. It was just a man running after him, and he gets shot. How much of this do you think is full on self-defense? The entire scenario? Because here it is. Kid, Kyle, shouldn't have had the gun in the first place.
Well, this is the thing. The law
so that's
makes
problem
a
number
distinction.
one. Go ahead.
The law makes a distinction between possessing that gun illegally and what you did in self-defense. And when I decided to research this case, to do a deep dive so that I can make the video that I made, talking about what happened, I simply went to the charging documents, widely available online. These are the documents that the district attorney of Kenosha crafted in order for them to have probable cause to arrest Kyle Rittenberg. And this document lays out exactly what happened. And what happened that night, especially with the first victim, Joseph Rosenbaum, we had a material witness. We had a person who was actually there and watched the entire thing unfold from start to finish. Mr. McGinnis, who's that witness, is a reporter. He's not on the side of Kyle Rittenberg or on the side of the protesters or even the victims. He said that he interviewed Kyle
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
All these interesting names. It's hard to keep track of all of them. He interviewed him. And Kyle is like, listen, I want to come out here. I want to help people. I want to protect property. You know, he's brainwashed with this whole patriotic thing. You see a lot of these kids in middle America getting involved with their parents are not guiding them through politics. And then they form these crazy, you know, sometimes right-wing ideologies. And that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Uh-huh.
At no time did Kyle Rittenhouse threaten to shoot anybody, give any indication that he was out there to do violence on anybody. There are no witnesses to that. There's some rumors running around saying that Kyle said that he was going to shoot somebody or whatever, but there's no proof or evidence of it. And the only interview that we have on camera is Kyle acting like a young kid. Yeah, I'm out here to help people. I'm a medic or whatever.
Right.
He said he witnessed Rosenbaum accost Kyle, chase after him, and Kyle run away. And we also have video of Kyle running away from Rosenbaum. And then he said that he witnessed Rosenbaum try and take Kyle's gun away. Then Kyle shot one bullet at the ground, and then Rosenbaum proceeded to try and take the weapon again, and that's when he was shot.
Gotcha.
So, in a nutshell, when you have a gun, you have a duty not only to protect yourself, but to protect that weapon. Because if somebody takes that weapon from you, you don't know what they're going to do. So it's self-defense in itself right there if somebody's trying to disarm you and you have not shown that you prove a danger to them.
You don't prove to show yourself a danger to them, yet you're the one brandishing an AR-15.
It's open carry state.
He's 17 years old, holding a gun illegally that he shouldn't be holding in the first place.
But
he's running around. He's running around with this gun, right? You know, and you know, obviously, you know, this is an open discussion. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, this one I keep rolling over my head over and over and over again because I look at the problem number one, and the main problem to me, which starts it all off, is that if 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse did not have said gun in his hand, those three people, one would not have a whole arm, you know, his arm as a nub now, and these other two gentlemen would probably still be here to live to tell their tale of rioting and looting. Okay?
Right.
So, you know, and they'd probably be locked up right now, I'm sure, with some sort of citations of whatever. But they'd still be on this planet right now,
right,
alive.
Absolutely.
Problem number one starts off with a 17-year-old boy going into Dominic, forgot his last name's room or home, getting out that AR-15 unbeknownst to Dominic to go out in public to go and surveil and save the world.
Right.
That's problem number one.
Literally what he was doing.
And if you are going to bring out, and this is just my own personal opinion, if you're going to come out with your gun of any kind, especially something big and aggressive and something big and aggressive and what's the word? I'm trying to think of the another word for it. But
intimidating.
Thank you. Bang.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding. Intimidating as a AR-15. This ain't a little pistol. This ain't a little pew pew. You know what I mean? This ain't a little pea shooter. This is an AR-15 strapped in the front of his chest. Him and his combat ready to go, suited and booted type of situation. You can't tell me that the general public would automatically assume that you are ready to use that bad boy. You got that thing out there, you're going to be ready to use it, my brother. This is a 17-year-old boy that took this gun illegally.
There were dozens of adults out there with the same type of weapons.
True.
With Kyle. And we have to understand the laws of that particular state. That's like the state that I'm from, they don't allow you to carry weapons like that. But in their state, you are allowed to do that. And Kyle Rittenhouse nobody knew that he was 17. Nobody knew that he had a legal gun.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't put ourselves in the mindset of Rosenbaum and say, well, he knew that this guy was underage and he was trying to do his civic duty and unarm this child who actually purchased a weapon through a straw buyer, because that's really the federal statute of what Dominique Black did. Dominique Black, in essence, committed a federal offense in his own self by knowingly buying that weapon with the intent of giving it to this young man. He's a straw buyer. So since Rosenbaum did not know that he was 17, did not know that it was a legally obtained weapon, and there are no witnesses that show Kyle Rittenhouse doing anything to threaten people with that gun.
Right.
Why did he try and take the weapon?
Word.
You know?
No, you got me strategic.
And,
Shut up.
And so then we
Shut
look
up.
at the next. So let's leave Rosenbaum.
Good point.
Let's go to the next victim,
Yeah.
Anthony Huber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before Kyle Rittenhouse shot Anthony Huber, Kyle Rittenhouse is running away from the homicide of Rosenbaum. An unknown, unidentified person punches him in the back of his head. Another identified person kicks him. He falls to the ground. While he's on the ground, Anthony Huber runs up to him and hits him with a skateboard.
You got to remember, though, this is after the fact. This is after he shot somebody already, and he's running down the street. So, in a way, I didn't mean to interrupt you, my brother. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But I get that part. I totally get that part. Okay? I totally get that part. But at the same time, you got a group of people that are all in a mob mentality that are hearing that one of their own has been shot and possibly killed. I think they said, I think I hear it. I think I recall hearing it in the video where they said he just killed a guy. Something like that. He just shot a guy. He just killed a guy. And next thing you know, everyone just starts going after him. Now, I understand to a certain extent, like, I just keep saying, like, this is a very tough one where you're like, I'm sitting on the fence and it's very uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Pascal,
I'm straddling this pokey ass fence. You know what I'm saying?
In the jury box's position.
Word.
And the prosecutor and the defense attorney and the judge, well, rather the defense attorney and judge is going to tell that jury, you have to put yourself in Kyle Rittenhouse's mind. So yes, if you're in that mob and that mob is telling, yo, he shot that guy, of course, you're going to say, yo, let's get him. Let's try and incapacitate that mass shooter. That guy's a killer. Let's get him.
Right.
But that's not what matters. What matters is what Kyle Rittenhouse believes. What he believes is, I just shot a guy who tried to take my gun, and now everybody's after me, and they're screaming, he's a murderer, he killed a guy, and some of them are also screaming, get him, kill him, stop him, and they're also assaulting him. Now, did he shoot the guy who punched him in the back of his head? No. Did he shoot the guy that kicked him in his face? No. But he shot the guy who hit him with a skateboard about his head. And in law enforcement, if you use any object to hit somebody in a vital area, that's called a deadly instrument. And this is how the law is going to look at it. His attorney's going to say, my client was assaulted with a skateboard that was being used as a deadly instrument that could have caused him grave bodily harm and injury.
Fair enough.
And therefore he defended himself.
Fair enough. And I see that part. I get it. If I was in his shoes, I'm going to be real. If I was in his shoes and I had that weapon and there was a blur of body limbs and wet things getting thrown at my face, and I'm scared for my life, I would try to protect myself as much as I can. I'll be straight funky on that. Doesn't mean that it's right.
No.
As much as I want to sit here and go, hey, but I don't sit here and say he's a hero. How is he a hero? Because I know there's a lot of people out there. Trust me. Why do you think?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I don't agree with the situation, and nor would I ever sit here and say that this man, this kid, barely has 3 hairs on his balls, is suddenly a man. He's a kid. No way would I ever sit there and say this kid is a patriot. This kid is a hero. never will I ever say that, because he put himself in a very bad situation. He shouldn't have, like I said, and I hate to keep going back to that, but he should not have had the gun in the first place. If he didn't have the gun, maybe this situation would not even have happened. Even with the first person that he had that altercation with. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The situation probably happened because he was a kid with that type of deadly weapon.
Absolutely.
Because once again, we had dozens of adults out there with the same type of weapon, the same type of armament, and nothing like that happened. And in my own videos on my own channel, after I said that this case was most likely a self-defense case, I then went at length saying exactly what you just said, that he is not a hero. It is a tragedy. He is a child, and he should not be held up as some folklore hero for grown men who want to live out their fantasies of battling the left, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This kid is going to be scarred for the rest of his life. And right now he's battling for his life.
I don't know.
Because there's no guarantee that he's going to get off on a self-defense.
Yeah, there's no guarantee for that, but I don't know if he's going to ever, I don't think he's going to be, yes, the images, for sure. For sure, the images and the experience will definitely scar him, but I do not think that he is in I don't think he is in the wrong crowd, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Because
they
he's
might
obviously
reinforce that, that he's did a good job.
There are people who are lifting him up. There are people who are lifting him up and basically congratulating him for the things that he did. And, of course, we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to be opening up the phone lines here after we get back from this commercial break. We'll be right back. We're still talking about this Kyle Rittenhouse thing. We're going to figure this thing out. We got strategic eyes in the house. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You love peace and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination, Image a World, IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugar Fire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range too. So if you get hungry, come on by.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking around and being a part of the conversation. Like I always say, if this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button underneath this feed right now. And of course, crush that subscribe button. We do this show Monday through Friday. I have a morning show at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I do an evening show Tuesdays through Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will not be on tomorrow night or tomorrow morning because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, y'all. It's Turkey Day. So if you guys are trying to watch a show, something's wrong with y'all. You better be going and getting your food. You better be eating it up and having a grand old time. But anyway, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're going to jump into this. But I'm going to open up the phone lines Okay, give us a call at 314-766-4581. There's some more stuff. I'm still here with Mr. Strategic Eyes. Obviously, there's we just talked about this. He just got out on bail about what's today, 5 days ago, and people of the likes of Ricky Schroeder of the famed sitcom Silver Spoons. Along with a bunch of other people, actually the My Pillow founder, Mike Lindell, actually helped fund the $2 million bail for Kyle Rittenhouse. So right now, Ricky Schroeder, and Mike Lindell are being thrown under the bus pretty hardcore about this whole situation. Obviously, supporting and trying to get this kid out of jail. I just want to point out there's plenty of other people that have done lesser crimes that have had worse bail that are still locked up, that we're still having hard times getting out. And now Kyle Rittenhouse, because of the situations, because he has been seen as a quote unquote hero, like a real American hero, G.I. Joe type of thing. He's getting this a lot of love, and what strategic Eyes just said before we went into break. You said something along, you were talking about like, oh, he's going to be scarred. Just to reiterate, I really don't think he's going to have those memories forever, but I think he is being put on a pedestal, and if things keep going the way that I think that they're going to go. This might turn him. This might embolden him. Let's just say that. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know his psyche. I do know that a lot of times people deal with trauma in their own way, and what he experienced that night is such just utter mayhem. What we witnessed it with our own eyes through video and through pictures. There's no telling, but I do agree with you in that he is being exalted by members of the far right to be some type of folk hero.
Yep.
And without him actually dealing and confronting what he did and understanding that some of what he did was wrong, it might embolden him to at the very least be a bad person. I don't know. So I think I'd have to agree with you on this one, honestly. I think it's sickening, and that's one thing that I try and speak out against on my channel. We can disagree on whether he was guilty of murdering those folks, because I certainly don't think that he was. But we should not be exalting him as some type of hero.
No.
We should acknowledge exactly what you said, that he should not have been out there on that night, that he should not have had that gun. And I'll go even further and say that his parents should have raised him to not be so inclined to be, this far right, I'm a hero, I'm going to, save the world and go out there in a literal war zone on that night. If he'd have stayed home, those people would be alive. The problem that I have is when we look at the law kind of justifies, from my perspective, his actions, as extreme as they were.
Yeah, I understand the part of self-defense. But one, I personally don't think that we're going to see him. I just don't think that it's going to stick. I personally don't think it's going to stick. Now, I could be completely wrong. But the way I look at it, the way things were, the way the whole situation happened, it all starts with the decision to bring a deadly weapon to the party. You decided to bring it's like bringing a bottle of liquor to the party. You know what I mean? For a fact, you're gonna pop up. You're gonna pop open the cap.
But I'll tell you what. If you read the charging documents,
right?
And I've read thousands of charging documents in my ongoing career, and I hopefully, God willing, I'll see a whole lot more. I know how district attorneys write when they're looking to get somebody. This document here pretty much is a recipe for getting this person off with a self-defense case. The district attorney in this charging document spends most of their time describing the actions of the victims, which precipitate the response that Kyle Rittenhouse gave them with the deadly weapon. They're basically explaining to us what these people did to make Kyle do what he did. I've never seen that before. And it's like, and I hate to use this example, but just popped in my head, so I apologize to anybody. Trigger warning. It's like you have a sex crimes victim, maybe because I did sex crimes for so many years as an investigator. It's like you have a sex crimes victim who went to a club and got too drunk and somebody took advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reading a charging document that's emphasizing all the missteps the person made in that club, drinking 5.5 drinks and wearing a 6-inch skirt, and then saying, oh, and then they got raped. So it's kind of like you did all these things and that's why it happened to you.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that in reverse in this charging document. They're like, look at everything that Joseph Rosenbaum did. Look at everything that Anthony Huber did. Look at everything that Grosskreutz did. And that's why Kyle Rittenhouse did that. And by the way, we'd like to charge him with murder for it.
Gotcha.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the way that that's written doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It's a confusing, obviously it's a very confusing and weird series of events. But what also I want to point out, what is something that you said earlier, is that we don't know what happened before Rosenbaum. We don't know. We don't know the events that happened before that. I mean, we've tried to piece it together.
He had a reporter that was with him the entire time. The reporter literally chronicles everything that Kyle Rittenberg did. This reporter took interest in Kyle because of his age, because he's like this plucky-faced little kid surrounded by a whole bunch of armed militiamen. So we do know this reporter, who's an independent witness, is a material witness to exactly what happened step by step until the moment that Rosenbaum was killed. And that's why I feel the way I feel, because I have this witness, McGinnis, basically saying Kyle Rittenhouse never threatened to kill anybody, never hurt anybody, never pointed a gun at anybody, never did anything that would make this gentleman feel that his life was in danger, for him to chase Kyle Rittenberg all over that area until finally Kyle was backed into a corner inside a parking lot and decided that he had to use deadly force.
You know, like I said, it's a strange series of events. I understand the part of seeing this as lines of self-defense to a certain extent, but then I also see I also see homicide as well, and I don't know his history with guns. I don't know Kyle Rittenhouse's history with guns. All I know is that, and this is a kid that shouldn't even have had a gun in the first place. But I also want to point this other thing out, and this is something that I showed on a show, and I got kicked off pretty hard.
That sucks.
Yeah, man, it was ridiculous. It was a video showing. I'm not going to show it, obviously, because as soon as I showed it, 5 seconds later, I got shut down. But this is a video. There's a video of him having a fight with a girl in a parking lot. This is I don't know. This is obviously, I'm trying to remember this video from months ago. But from my understanding, it was before the actual shooting, before the events that happened in Kenosha. And he's having a full-on fight with a woman, or with another teenage girl, sorry. He's fighting the girl, and then there's a bunch of other guys that kind of jump in and try to stop him from fighting, this girl. Now, if you got a kid who seems like he might have had a very short wick out in Kenosha, part of the whole team trying to protect a car dealership, but then you slap on an AR-15 on his chest, what are you going to get? The kid's going to pop off a few rounds too, I'm going to think. Now, of course, I'm saying this is playing devil's advocate here, but let's be real. If you already show that he has no moments, he gives 0 Fs about the fact that he's putting his hands on a girl. You know, as far as that old school thing, you never put your hands on a woman, right? So this is a 17-year-old boy unleashing on this girl to the point where he has to there's other people that are trying to pull him off. Grown men, grown dudes, much bigger than him. You know what I mean? Trying to stop him from beating on this girl.
But
you put
Pascal,
that same dude in the same situation.
Because when we started out, you said it doesn't matter about the fact that Joseph Rosenbaum raped 5 little boys. We shouldn't talk about that.
No.
Now we're talking about
hold on.
Kyle Rittenhouse being a little jerk.
No. Because if you are a little jerk, hold on. No. Because here it is. If it was Rosenbaum, having a tarnished past, if he was running around with a little boy and he was doing something bad with that little boy or a little girl, that'd be a different story. I'm talking about the same dude. He has the same amount of trigger reaction, pun intended, where he has a choice between just keep running or turn around and pop. Same thing. I'm in a parking lot with a girl who's talking, maybe talking trash in my face. I have the choice to either 1, walk the F away, or 2, relinquish the wrath of God on her face with my fists.
Right.
Same dude. Same scenario. If you really think about it, you got a split-second decision to make. And he chose violence on both sides.
You make a point.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that we have to judge what Kyle did.
Yeah.
Because remember, this is a lot of times that what I'm noticing since I've been on YouTube is people call for things. You know, forget about YouTube. Just watch the news. Turn on the news right now. People are calling for things to happen to other people, not understanding the gravity of what they're asking. So, like when an officer get into an officer-involved shooting, not trying to change the subject, it all matters.
No.
We say send that officer to jail for the rest of his life. Convict him of murder before we even have the evidence. I worked in a prison system. When you say somebody should get convicted for murder and spend the rest of their life, that matters. That's a serious thing. That's a big deal. We have to judge Kyle's situation. If we're going to condemn him for the rest of his life, we have to use the laws that we have in existence. And we have to judge him based on the facts of what happened that night. He may be a hothead. Like I said, I don't like the kid. I am not a supporter of this kid. I'm just going by the facts. He may be a hothead. He may be a terrible human being. He may be a spoiled brat. He may be all of those things. And he is definitely a trafficker of illegal guns. He may be all of those things. But what happened on that night? And at the very least, because the other victims are not as complicated, in my eyes, as the first victim. The first victim is what started the chain of events. On that night, we have a witness showing a man chasing after this boy where the boy tried to run. We have a witness that details to an investigator in this charging document stating that twice he observed Mr. Rosenbaum trying to take the gun away from Kyle. And if we want to talk about how somebody's past record could influence their behavior, we don't have to talk about Rosenbaum's rape of children. Because I made that clear inside of my video. I have no mercy for this dude. I'm sorry. We could talk about his institutional record. He is a very violent man who attacked correction officers and other inmates and was caught multiple times with weapons.
Good point.
With a guy like that, we don't even know what he's going to do. What if he took Kyle's gun? What if he took Kyle's gun, smacked Kyle upside the head and say, listen, you dumb kid, get out of here. We can't even be sure, based off of his past, that he wouldn't take that gun and go rob a bank.
That is true. That's a very strong point. That is a strong point.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, that's why the law says if you have a gun and somebody tries to remove that gun from you and you're not giving them any reason to believe that they're the hero, you have a right to shoot them because you don't know what they're going to do with that gun. I don't know why that man would think it'd be a smart idea to try and disarm a stupid little kid. I have no idea.
Yeah. No, you make some really good points there, man. Damn. It's such a heavy situation, man. Like it's so hard to dismantle and unravel. It's like so many layers to this, like an onion. And
I think a lot of it, Pascal, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think a lot of the confusion that we have, especially as black people, because we all realize the importance of this movement for equality that's happening. Whether you agree with Black Lives Matter or not, I think we all agree that there's some serious issues in America when it comes to race relation. And here are these people who are exploding with rage over what they believe to be another injustice by police. And so that is the setting. That's the background of what's happening. And then this is the issue. The media painted this kid as some right-wing militia member. So then it automatically imprints in our hearts and in our souls this us versus Gale. He's one of them. He's the bad guy. Right. He came out there to start trouble. And I think that's the problem with people understanding and trying to separate their morality, number one, their personal biases, number two, and their personal beliefs from the facts and the law. Automatically, Kyle was the enemy.
Instantly.
He was out there to go against the fight for freedom, the public outcry, the collective anger of the injustices that the people in Kenosha feel that they've been going through for decades with that police department. And here's this kid coming out here talking about, I'm going to protect this property and all this stuff. He automatically, and the media made him look like he was the enemy before we knew anything about him. He was simply the guy who came and shot protesters. And it's just more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
It's just not that simple.
It's much more complicated than that. It's not as cut and dry as we'd like to make it. And you got a very good point there. You know, it was already, in a way, already stigmatized instantly just because of who he was shooting, who was attacking him, or just trying to apprehend him in a way. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what, it's funny because if you have somebody going on there, especially being a black man that sits there, and I'm not sitting here saying this, but I'm just using this as an example, and said, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero and he did everything right and he did nothing wrong, then you would be ostracized as something. Especially being a black man, watching this and knowing where people are standing for. You know what I'm saying? What you guys are standing for. Real quick, Jalen just asked something. Yes, I am taking phone calls. Give me a call. 314-766-4581. Love to hear your thoughts on this. You know what I'm saying? We're doing a quick phone call round, but give us a call. What are your thoughts on this whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation? Do you think he should still be in jail, or do you think he's just one lucky son of a gun getting that bail? And I think he's one lucky son of a gun getting that bail. Let's keep it straight funky, y'all. I think this kid should still be in that prison, in that jail, scared for his life. That's just my personal opinion. That's where I stand. Whether it is self-defense or not, you guys heard me a million times where I feel where I stand in regards to him doing all this stuff. We got a phone call. Let's get this. Hold up. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from? Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Holy crap, you're loud. Hang on. Hi, this is Jalen.
Hi, Jalen. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. You know, how's St. Louis? Is St. Louis treating you well?
It's the Midwest, Cheech.
What else is new, right? So real quick, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation?
You know, it's hard because you and I'm not sure about anybody else, we do live in an open carry state.
Yes.
And in the state of Missouri, legally, without any, anything, you can walk into, that's why Walmart took shotguns and rifles off their shelves.
True.
At 18, in the state of Missouri, you can walk in somewhere and, you got to give them your license, but not at 17.
Right.
And honestly, my 18-year-old son does own guns, but they are not in his possession. because as a parent, they can't be. You know, kids get mad and they do stupid stuff that they would, at our age, never think about doing. And we're guilty of the same thing. So looking at this kid, as a mom, there's parts of me that are more upset with the adults in his life. Because my kids, I have 7 kids. Every one of them has been on the range. Every one of them knew when they were very, very young the dangers of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So none of my kids, I've never ever had the feeling that one of my kids would, one, they ain't stupid enough trying to get a gun from me, because it ain't going to happen. But to even walk into someone else's home and take that gun, they just made that firearm illegal. It wasn't necessarily illegal. It was taken, and the minute it was taken by him, that's illegal.
Right.
Period. Not to mention, he's 17 to boot. And
Right.
as a mom, I can see his mom sitting back going, oh, but my son was just trying to help the people that own the businesses. All right. Why would you come with an AR-15 if they're not your businesses and you're going into an environment where people are clearly not agreeing? I don't know if this was a breakdown gun, but if it was a breakdown gun, I can see how he got it past his mother. What I can't see is why I'm going to try not to F-bomb you.
Thank you.
Why the hell this mom thought it was okay to drop her 17-year-old son off in a critical area.
You know, it's
armed
funny.
or not armed.
It's funny because that is a very good question as well. My only assumption is that, and maybe Strategic has some more info on that, but in my assumption, I think he was just like, hey, I just want to go hang out with my boys or something of that sort, and then went, and that was part of the plan to get over there to hang out and do his thing.
His mother didn't know that he was going to Kenosha. None of the adults knew that he was going to do what he did. And
right, but he
I just want to clarify. I just really want to emphasize, especially based off the conversation we had so far, Wisconsin is an open carry state. The people of Kenosha, who hopefully were the majority of people who were there, because I could tell you from my experience as a law enforcement officer, a lot of the people who show up to these riots are outside agitators. They're not from those communities, and that's why they do so much damage there. Those individuals who live in Kenosha would be accustomed to seeing people walking around with guns, exposed to the world. This is not like if you came to California or New York and you see somebody walking with an AR-15, they instantly get tackled by like 10,000 agents, federal agents and police officers. This is a place where, like your caller said, people just go to Walmart with their AR-15, which is what Rittenhouse had, sling around their shoulders. This is normal. This is a part of the culture of that part of the country. And I think that's really hard for a lot of people, especially us African Americans, who we mostly live in like coastal states, except for like down south. Like, we're not accustomed to that. I'm not accustomed to that. If I see that, I'm pulling my gun out like, yo, freeze, police, what are you doing? You know, so in this part of the country, that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay, but in Wisconsin, you said it's an open carry state?
It is.
Okay, well, number one, you can't walk into Missouri and buy an AR-15. You can get a shotgun, you can get a rifle, basically the Red Ryder bullshit. But whenever it comes to some heavy, if he lives in an open carry state, he was comfortable enough to lay his hands on a gun. Why the hell were there not adult influences? If he's going to grab an AR-15, he has handled some firearms already.
Yes.
So everybody failed this kid, including this kid. He's clearly not educated. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. If one of my kids ever tried to pull something like that, their biggest fear, that'll be me coming through that crowd.
No kidding.
But at the same time, I've heard moms protect their kids on some of the most irrational logic that you could ever imagine. Oh, well, he was trying to keep the peace. He was trying to keep the peace. You don't keep the peace with an AR. Go with a super soaker. How's that? He's 17.
No kidding.
It's time to wake the hell up.
Absolutely.
You know, there ain't no reason that 17. My son has shot everything. Everything. He knows how dangerous that shit is. He knows how dangerous the visual of it is. So, where are these kids, the role models for him? He's in an open carry state. He's been handling firearms. I'm not saying I like the kid. I'm not saying I'm against the kid. I'm saying that a 17-year-old brain, especially in a boy, is thinking Billy Badass.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do, you know, they're going to gravitate towards their peers, which I'm thinking, you know, if all your peers own this kind of really cool stuff that you think is really cool, but it doesn't exist in your world, they're going to go to that world. That's what's appealing to them. Unfortunately, it got this kid in a lot of trouble. I don't think making him out to be this great hero is going to affect what he has already been and what he's already been through. It's terrifying to get arrested, to get linked up, to get booked, to go into a population cell with all adults. That's some scary shit, because the badass part of it is gone. Once they get linked up and thrown in the back of that car, there's no badass there anymore. Now it's crying and begging and pleading. And he should have had, you know, I wish somebody would have stepped in to keep him from sitting there.
Yeah,
to where he was linked up crying.
Yeah, I think
it affects everyone.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Jalen. I think that there's a certain level of, if he had any type of training experience with these guns, there's obviously a certain level of respect, I feel, that should have been taught with those guns. So he didn't automatically think that he was the Punisher, like, you know, Frank Castle up in this piece, running around with a gun, thinking that he's going to save the world with this AR-15. You know what I mean? Jalen, thank you so much for the phone.
But that's what you see.
Yes. And that's what we ended up seeing now, because there's no, I don't think that there was a level of respect for the gun. I think, in my own personal opinion, it seems like it was used as if it was a toy, and that, I have this. And then, of course, he's frightened for his life. He's trying to defend himself, so he uses the gun. But I think that if there was another way that he was maybe trained with that gun properly, I think that there would have been a different outcome with this gun. Jalen, thank you so much for the phone call. Thank you so much. All right.
I agree.
All right.
But I want to tell you one thing real fast.
Okay.
Whenever you guys are watching the media and stuff, number one, look for words apparently, allegedly, or projected. The videos that you see of these women going crazy on film, the crazy Karen, you'd be amazed at how many times the person that's recording that crazy Karen is egging it on to the point that they are bringing on that behavior. And then you see the behavior. You don't see what's going on behind that camera. You don't see how that person is being poked at. So just keep that in mind, because there's 1,000 perspectives to every story. That's why they take all the witnesses' statements. Everybody's seeing it from a different angle.
Jalen, thank you so much. No, that's a very good point. Thank you so much, Jalen. We'll be seeing you in the chat, okay? God bless.
You bet. You too. Bye, guys.
See you later.
She made a very good point. She made a lot of very good points. But one of them that kind of stuck to me, and I like the perspective conversation, but that's another conversation in itself. But it does kind of tie into this too. But I do think that there is a certain level. I think that it's understandable, or I think it's okay for children to know their way around a gun, their way around a weapon. I think it's okay. But they also have to learn the level of respect for that weapon as well. and not it being something that they just see in a bunch of Rambo movies and think that, oh yeah, you know, I know how to shoot it. I'm a badass. I could do anything. And I feel like that's the situation. I mean, obviously, as you saw the surveillance videos of Kyle running around and all that stuff, not surveillance, but all the footage that was documented, the journalist that was following him around, all that stuff. I mean, you can see from the moment that he's in the at the used car lot all the way down to when he is signaling the guys, you know, doing all this stuff, signaling the cops and everything. I mean, clearly he wanted to be a real American hero. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I don't think he had an opportunity to really learn the respect around the weapons that he had. Because if he respected it, I don't think he would have been so fast to go steal it, to go just take it from that house and then run around with it like it's a new cell phone. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, this kid reminds me of George Zimmerman. He's like a teenage George Zimmerman.
Word.
You know, I want to save the world. I want to be somebody I'm not. You know, George Zimmerman, he thought he was a cop, but he was just a neighborhood watchman, and then he ended up killing this young man. And, you know, that's where I differ a lot. He killed Trayvon Martin. That kid was a really good kid, and then the media tried to destroy him, make him look like he was some type of thug. But that's a different conversation. But he mirrors George Zimmerman. This kid wanted to go out there and he wanted to save the world. He wanted to protect property. And your caller made a good point. Where are the parents? Yeah. Where's the adults saying, hey, listen, you know, this is appropriate for your age and this is not appropriate for your age? Where's the guidance? You can't give that guidance when the kid is 17 years old already. He's already stuck in his ways. Where's the parents that raised him from 0 to 13 having that common sense so that when he's 17, he knows his place as a young man and knows where he should be and shouldn't be? You know, unfortunately, the difference is that Zimmerman is a murderer that got off, in my opinion, and this young man, I believe, did self-defense in this situation, you know, and I don't know.
I mean, it's a tough one. To me, it's a tough one because I think that it is, in ways, I think Zimmerman and Rittenhouse are one and the same in a way, except the scenario is a little bit different, obviously, a lot different. But I feel like that there's a level.
Business, going about his business, trying to get back home to Pop's house.
Right.
When Zimmerman accosted him. In this situation, this young man is minding his business, walking with the reporter. And as the witness told us, multiple times this guy tried to accost him. Who are you? What are you doing with that? You know, whatever happened, you know, to the point where the kid got to the point where he felt that he had to run away. You know, so you know, it's just ugly. It's an ugly situation. It's comic. I feel dirty taking his side because everything inside me says, yo, this kid, you know, like you said, you know, you shouldn't have had the illegal gun. You shouldn't have been there. If you didn't do these things, these people will be alive. But unfortunately, because I have a bachelor's in criminal justice, because I've dedicated my entire adult life to working in law enforcement, I cannot ignore the law. And like I say, people on my show, if you don't like the law, then you need to lobby your politicians to change it. Because the law is the law. And no murder, well, rather no homicide, because a homicide is when somebody dies. A murder is when you intentionally kill somebody. No homicide is pretty. And the circumstances of this kid's situation is not pretty.
Right.
But when you look at it from a lawful perspective, it's adding up that it's going to be self-defense. And I know this is not a good poll, but I've looked at liberal as well as conservative lawyer shows. They all say the same thing. Okay. Everybody who has a law degree who talks about this case says the same thing. It's self-defense.
Yeah, but here it is, though. How is it self-defense? Okay. I understand. No. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I understand that it is self-defense. I understand, or I can understand the reasons why things can point towards self-defense. Mm-hmm. But when a kid takes a gun that he should not be having in the first place, out of a building or out of a house, knowing that he's going to have it strapped on his belly, I'm sorry. That's why a lot of people think that it's premeditated. Because if you're going, hey, I got this gun, I'm ready to use it. I'm bringing it out. He didn't need to bring that damn rifle out, the AR-15. He didn't bring that thing out at all. Not at all. He could have gone to that place, done his thing, you know what I'm saying, been safe, been respectful,
Pascal,
saved his neighborhood, saved the community that he was there for, and all that. He could have done all those things that he was doing before, and those people would still be alive, and he would not have been some dumb 17-year-old kid stealing a gun to run out and play cops and robbers with.
Well, you have to prove premeditation, Pascal. Pascal, premeditation in the law has a specific definition.
True.
And you have to show that he made that plan. You have to show Facebook posts where he said, I'm going to take that gun out and I'm going to kill people with it. You have to show witnesses, his girlfriend, his homeboy, saying, I'm tired of these looters. I'm tired of these rioters. I'm going to take that AR-15. The first person that messes with me, I'm going to put a couple holes in them. That's premeditation, but he has an alibi. His alibi is he went out with a group of militiamen, and none of these guys killed anybody, and all of them will testify
because they know how to use a gun.
Plan to shoot anybody
because they know how to use a gun. Because they know how to use a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They know how to when to use and when not to use a gun. He was running
there's a remedy
away.
For that. The remedy for that is that we charge him for having that unlawful weapon. That's the remedy. And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, you had an illegal gun. You got to pay for that. But the law is not going to say because you had that illegal gun, you're now complicit in killing a person, even though it's self-defense. And there's good examples of this. This happens all the time, especially in big cities that have tight gun control laws like Los Angeles and New York. We have cases that come up where somebody will legitimately be defending their life. A burglar comes in their house, somebody's getting raped, somebody's trying to kill somebody, and they'll defend their life with an illegal gun, sawed off serial numbers. I'm talking about a gangster gun with bodies on it that then floated around the whole hood. And you know what happened? That person won't be charged for murder. They'll just be charged for having that illegal gun. It's documented. It happens all the time. It happens multiple times a year. That person killed somebody, but they lawfully killed somebody, and maybe they'll do 2 years in prison. Or maybe it'll get suspended as probation, especially if it's like they're defending a child or something like that. Mm-hmm. If they're a thug and somebody rolls up on them and it's on camera and they kill that person as a result of them trying to kill them, they might do some time because they were a bad person. But especially when we have the situation where somebody is using an unlawful, illegally obtained gun to defend somebody in a clear-cut case, they usually never, ever get charged for the murder. They just get charged for a illegal gun. And that's what's going to happen most likely in this case. He will do time for that illegal gun, but you listen, that guy's record is coming out in that court case. Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, because you got a lawyer that's going to sit there and ride the hell out of it. Like, he was scum. He was scum. See, that's one less piece of trash on this planet. So he did us a favor. That's what basically the lawyer is going to lean towards. Like, he already had a record of being a very violent person in the first place. He had to defend himself. Therefore, that's why him dead. And I get
at this
that.
Plucky little boy. He's his type.
Yeah.
This is his type. He likes to rape. Thank God he had a gun. Listen, it gets wild in a court. It gets wild in a court. That's why, especially, this is my expertise, sex crimes cases, especially in those type of cases, you'll see people getting deals. Like in the case of Rosenbaum, what he did could have gotten him life in prison. But because it gets so ugly in court and defense attorneys can often mistreat victims so badly, make them recount what happened to them, a lot of those rapists like Rosenbaum end up getting these sweetheart deals. So 10 years in prison is a sweetheart deal when you could have gotten life in prison if they would have put those 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-old boys on the stand to recount what he did to them. So to save those children further trauma, they say, all right, take this deal of 10 years in prison. That's the only reason why Rosenbaum was on the streets. He was on the streets because they didn't want those kids to testify. And, we could debate that. Society can debate it. I think it's horrible, but I do understand that we have to protect victims.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate all your valid points. You've made a lot of really good valid points. Obviously, you're a man, behind the shield, you know what I'm saying, and still serving and doing your civic duty, protecting and serving in your neck of the woods. And of course, I appreciate you, coming in, taking the time to talk about all this stuff. You know what I mean? Even argue with me. It's okay. I still love you, man. I hate your
Pascal's
guts.
been awesome.
I know where you live, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, I appreciate you coming on and being a part of the conversation today or tonight and all that. There's this conversation we can talk. I mean, it can keep, man, this is such a thick conversation. I would love to have you back on to chop it up even more because, there's all kinds of crazy stories that are going on, like the two teens that recently were shot while the car was driving. The cop shot those two teenagers that were rolling off. Do you know about this story?
Which state is that? There's so many of them.
I know there's so many, bruh. California. It was in California.
I think I was gonna start doing research on that one. Definitely sounds fishy.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds fishy.
See the fact that you said. Say that again.
Sounds a little fishy.
There we go, baby.
And I ain't talking about Mama's fish fry.
We got to talk about that for sure. I'm going to take this one more phone call before we jump off, okay? Hold on one second. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, Pascal? What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's your name and where you calling from, bruh?
MRTEE number 12. What's up, man?
Oh, what's up?
Oh, Mr. T.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on? I was supposed to say what's up to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
This collaboration wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Mr. T. So big up to him. I appreciate it. It's nice hearing your voice, brother. Thanks for the...
What's up, man? What's up, man? I ain't too far away from New York. What's up?
All right.
Yeah, man. Strategic doesn't need to give you any credit, man. Like, you ain't nothing. So I don't know what he's talking about, bruh. You know what I'm saying? No, I appreciate you making this connection.
It's all love. It's all love.
It's
I want
all
to say
love.
What's up to everybody real fast. That was it.
Yeah, man.
Good conversation. I mean, a lot of points for both of you. It's a topic that's very, very emotional because everybody picks a side right away. And, unfortunately, it becomes racial because people see color, But, I understand that where I come from, that if Kyle, was a regular guy from the neighborhood, it'd be a different story. It just would be, So, got to be careful on picking sides, but let's follow the law and stick to the facts and the truth here.
Word. Facts. Hard facts, man. You do have a very good point. I mean, and like what we had talked about, you're kind of echoing the same thing in agreement with us. But yeah, I mean, I think this story would be a completely different situation if it was, what if he was part of Antifa and he was shooting one of those militia guys? You know what I'm saying? I feel like there would be a different visceral reaction to this scenario if the tables were turned. You know what I'm saying? Or if he was black, maybe it would be a different story too. There's so many added details that if you just change those things just a little bit, if you just cross that T and dot that I, it could change the whole scenario, and the opinions out there, the public opinions out there would change as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's levels to this case, and I think it's been broken down pretty well. But, Kyle's main supporters are those who defend the Second Amendment, and so do I. But I cannot illegally own a gun and go somewhere and do something that's against the law. It doesn't matter how righteous it may look or be, I can't do that. So neither can Kyle. And Kyle was self-defending, and that's the part that I agree with. He was a self-defender, great. But Kyle has not been there, period. And I've brought up several times in different discussions, about Ahmaud Arbery and then also Trayvon Martin, who are also self-defenders without a weapon. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we had, Philando Castile that was killed with a weapon legally by police. So like does it matter the weapon or not, or does the color of the skin matter? Because it seems that there's always a divide between who was the person that was killed? Oh, I'll pick a side now. It should be strictly about the facts. What happened? Were the cops overzealous? Were the rioters who attacked Kyle overzealous? Was Kyle in the right? Was Trayvon in the right to defend himself? Was Ahmaud in the right to defend himself? Like, no one's thinking about like the actual facts. People are emotionally driven to pick a side, and I don't think that's fair. I think we as adults have to change the narrative going forward. If we are tired of this year of social injustice, then we have to change it ourselves by being neutral and leaning on the facts and not picking a side because it's convenient for us or our political affiliation. Like, forget all that. We gotta raise kids, so our kids gotta know what's right and what's wrong.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying? If I have a 17-year-old kid, I gotta tell my kid what's right or wrong to survive out here. Not about politics, not about anything crazy, but like, how do you survive day to day using a common sense? And we can't be out here, at least for me in the urban city, I can't be out here doing certain things. It may look a certain way.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Kyle took a risk that I can never take.
Never.
At all. Never.
You'd be
the
dead.
world that I live in, that I can't take that risk.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Mr. T, you'd be dead. T, you would be dead. Real
Yeah.
talk.
Listen, I told you, like, Philadelphia went to a riot central less than a month ago, but the guy was killed. Walter something. I think it's Walter something.
Wallace.
His name was, but,
Walter Wallace. Jr.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like literally a mile from my house, stores are being tore apart. I can't go there with my AR-15. What? I'll be dead in a second.
Facts.
So like, it's a different world that I live in. Is my house safe? Yeah. I mean, I have my weapons. I'm trained, but like, I can't go outside my house and patrol the streets at all. No matter how much I would like to in my heart to defend property, but I can't do that.
Right.
That's not my legal right to do that.
It's interesting because you got to remember, this is a kid from Antioch, Illinois, that went over to Wisconsin, to Kenosha, Wisconsin, to protect property that wasn't even his, y'all. Like, that wasn't even his. He went out there to seek action. He wanted to be a part. He wanted to be thrown in the fray. He wanted to see action. He wanted to be there ducking and diving and running and being a part of, being a part of the cops and part of the security and protection that was there. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only problem is that he could have easily done that without the gun. But he wanted to be a part of the boys. He wanted to be a big boy. And I know I've said this a million times, strategic. I'm sorry. Sound like a broken record. But at the same time, he did not need to be bringing out that gun. But he felt that he felt that he was emboldened enough to go take that gun and go out there thinking that he's untouchable.
You know what? Yeah. I want to make one point.
Shoot.
No black people were hurt during the making of the Kyle Rittenhouse movie.
Well, actually, one black guy dodged. Like a bullet went through. He missed a guy. There was a guy that tried to kick him. He was a black guy. He shot at him, and he just missed him by just a smidgen, and he ran off, and he was fine. But true. No brothers died. But at the same time, that's still tragic as hell. You know what I'm saying? The whole series of events was just trash. But
absolutely. Bad joke.
I mean,
you good.
Like for me, I feel like, when this happens to a typical person that doesn't fall into favor with whomever group it is, their character is initially and continuously assassinated going forward. And we've seen this throughout this whole year and before, where the victim, who may not be the right complexion for protection, is instantly given a freaking anal cavity research of his high school records, to his stolen candy bar in 5th grade. Like, everything is criminalized. Everything. And it's like, it's not even fair. Like, the guy, whoever gets killed, gets killed. But was that a legal killing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for Kyle, like, he's a hero and a patriot. Like,
that's what drives me nuts.
Outrageous to me. I don't understand that.
That's what drives me nuts. Like, cut out all the other stuff, the facts, the you know, whether he was defending himself or not, or if he was brandishing a gun illegally and all that stuff. The one thing that really drives me nuts is that there is that trend, or that there's this thing that's circulating all over the ether right now, saying that he is a patriot, he is a hero, and all this stuff. And it's like, no, he is not G.I. Joe. He is not a hero. I don't understand where this hero and patriot thing came from. And it's because they already started to polarize the situation. They already started to polarize the events. Instantly, it's like, damn right he shot some of them Antifa. Damn that Antifa. He a hero. Instantly. Doesn't matter what he did, whether it was right or wrong. It is instantly polarized and weaponized, obviously, against people, against opposing sides. If you sit there and go, that kid was an idiot, you'll get a tirade, a wall of people just going after you, saying that you're a piece of trash.
Oh yeah.
If you say opposite, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Sure. It's such a polarizing situation because the way media, social media, and just the way the both opposing sides have dressed it up as. And that's what's sad. Instead of being able to look at the facts like strategic.
I lost subscribers
facts.
Because even though I agreed with them that it was self-defense, just because I would not exalt him and glorify him, that wasn't it just wasn't enough.
Yep.
It was like you have to say he's a hero and he's innocent in order for for us to agree with you and stay on the page. It's like it's tribalism. It's tribalism.
Just on you want to know something funny? Just on this video alone, I lost 7. I've lost 7 subscribers. Like that. See what I'm saying? As soon as I sit there and go, hey, he's not a hero, unsubscribe. It's sad. But that's how it is. Them are the breaks. You know what I'm saying? As much as we want to have opinions and be like my channel, be an opinion channel or a commentating channel, talking about the things that are going on in the world, it's not always going to be black or white. It's going to be, there's a lot of gray in there too. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, some people just can't handle hearing your own truth. And with this whole Rittenhouse situation, it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. But, Mr. T, thank you so much for calling in, my brother. Thank you, man.
No problem.
And also thank you for making this connect happen, man. He's a good dude.
He's definitely a good dude.
He smells funny, but he's all right. You know what I mean? He's a good dude.
All right, have a good night, brother.
All right, man. Peace
out.
Easy. Good night.
All right.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, and that was a really good call, too. So shout out to Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? Big, huge part of the family, of the Pascal Show family. I appreciate the conversation. That's what's so tough about this, man, is that, people aren't willing to, and I feel like there's parts of me that aren't willing to see fully, because I'm a little blurred with my own personal opinions, you know what I'm saying, about Kyle to begin with. Still, what you just said, strategic, all the things that you've said, I'm sorry, you make very, very valid points. They're very, very strong points. And of course, as you said too, I will never call him a hero, like not never. But I do see the good. I do see the points in the situation. And of course, when you said, first thing you said is, if you put yourself in his shoes, what would have you done? Well, if I was here it is. If I was a 17-year-old boy, I wouldn't have had the gun in the first place. But if I'm a grown-ass man with the gun, I probably would have used the gun to try to protect myself as much as I could. Try not to kill anybody as much as I could. But at the same time, I guess I would have been the type of person that would have just ran and just kept running. You know what I'm saying? Because I like, human life is so precious.
Tactical retreat.
Yeah, tactical retreat, my brother. You know what I mean? Yeah, baby. You know what I mean? That's not a sign of weakness. That's you being smart, and you really appreciate and respect human life. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But I would definitely have the gun pointed and say back off, that kind of thing. But I probably wouldn't be pulling the trigger. But if I was 17 years old, I'd be standing around with a Game Boy or something like that in my hands and reading
I'd be with a shorty.
See what I'm saying? Facts. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You know what I mean? I would have had a comic book or something. You know what I'm saying? I would have been chilling. You know what I mean? And just standing next to the dude with the gun. You feel me? Just to have the protection, just in case. But, that's neither here nor there anyway. But anyway, Strategic Eyes, thank you so much for being on. Can you let everybody know where they can find you real quick, man?
Strategic Eyes, come to my page. Regular spelling with an S at the end of the eyes. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you could do me a favor, just throw it down in the comment section or something. Link it up. I appreciate that. I'm growing, and just like-minded people and when I say like-minded people who are open to the truth and who want to go on a journey of finding the truth with me. Come on down, show that love. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Definitely, guys, go and follow him. Go hit that subscribe button on his channel. And of course, sorry, I got to do the same as plug. If you haven't done it yet and you're watching this show right now, please go hit that subscribe button on my channel as well. You know what I mean? I know that's a lot of work. Going to Strategic Eyes and hitting his subscribe button, then going to mine and hitting that subscribe button. But hey, if you enjoyed the conversation, you enjoyed the little debate, you know what I'm saying? A little tit for tat, if you will. Definitely hit that subscribe button and hit that like button down below. I would really, really appreciate it. But anyway, it is time to get going. Strategic Eyes, thank you so much for being on once more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all better go and be sure to go and subscribe to his channel, okay? He's got a lot of knowledge and he's got a lot of really interesting perspectives about a lot of things that are going on, especially a lot of these videos that have been popping off. I mean, it's been one tragic thing after another. And you want to hear something new and hear something different and see a different angle, definitely go to his channel. But anyway, and hopefully he'll be back on the show again. You know what I'm saying? I think he had a terrible time. I'm not hearing him laughing. He's crying right now. That's exactly what he's doing. It's not laughter, it's crying. Because I just demolished him on that debate. You feel me? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it wasn't even the debate. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, real quick. Oh, hey, Strategic, you got to tell everybody Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And this show is Strategic Eyes approved. Great show, Pascal.
Wow. Wow. I got a gold star today, guys. Damn. God is good. Yes. Won't he do it? Anyway, seriously, again, guys, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We will not be on tomorrow unless something pops off. I mean, unless something really, really pops off. You know for a fact I will be on at some point. Probably got a whole lot of itis in me because I'll be full as hell. Even though I'm not doing Thanksgiving with my fam, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to get creative, okay? I'm going to get really, really creative, all right? But I wanted to say a happy Thanksgiving to all of you if I don't see you guys tomorrow, which most likely will be happening. I will not see you guys tomorrow. I'm sorry. I will sleep and do nothing. But please, if you're going to go spend time with your families, please be safe. Please be clean. Even scrub underneath those nails. You know who I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking to, you nasty ass, like the dirt under the nails and the blackness under the nails. That's nasty. Clean that shit off, okay? That's all I ask, all right? And of course, please, if you're gonna be around your friends and family and all that, please have a great time. Eat as much food as you can. relish and cherish the moments that you are having, because seriously, we are still on this planet. We are still above this ground. And damn it, we got through this year so far. There is many reasons to be thankful this Thanksgiving for sure. All right. So go eat, drink, be merry, and have a happy Thanksgiving, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I love all you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Wishing you love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination, Image a World. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugar Fire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range, so if you get hungry, come on by.